Today we are making 3 different cozy, fall-inspired, yummy drinks. I will have all of the instructions in the description down below, and I will also be going over some of the mistakes that I made so you don't have to. The first recipe we're doing is a yummy chocolatey protein hot chocolate. For this recipe you're going to need some hot cocoa mix, some hot chocolate flavored protein or chocolate flavored protein. Optionally you can put some whipped cream on top and some little marshmallows. You totally don't have to do this. I did it for the aesthetics of the video. Mix a half scoop of your protein powder mix with half a cup of milk. Off camera I put this into a shaker and shook it up because stirring it was kind of creating a mess for me, so that is something that you can do. Or if you have a milk frother, that is a really good option too. The biggest mistake I made while filming this video was that I added the hot water onto the protein powder, creating clumps that just are kind of gross. So don't do that. Instead, add the protein powder to the cold milk and then stir it up. That way it dissolves a lot better. Once you have your milk protein mix, you can add half a scoop of the hot chocolate powder. Now it's safe to add the hot water and you should get a nice smooth consistency. Stir it all up and this is what it should look like. This recipe is so yummy on its own, but if you wanted to get a little extra coziness, put some whipped cream on there, add some marshmallows, curl up by the fire and enjoy those gains. Next recipe we're doing is a pumpkin protein mocha. But before we get into the recipe, I just wanted to show off how cute this mug is. For this recipe, I'm using the same protein powder I used in the hot chocolate, and then I'm also using a pumpkin pie flavored coffee. Use whatever coffee maker you have. I just happen to have this espresso maker. This is how I make all of my coffee. When I'm making coffee, I do 2 scoops of coffee grounds and then I stamp it down and I let it brew. I wish you could smell through this video because this coffee smells amazing. Once your coffee is done brewing, do the half scoop of protein powder, half cup of milk ratio and mix that together. Once that's all nicely mixed, you can add that to your coffee now. And there you have it. There is your pumpkin protein mocha. And again, if you wanted to add the extra elements to it, you could put some whipped cream and a marshmallow on top. How yummy does that look? The next drink we are doing is a protein pumpkin spice latte. I'm using the same coffee that we used in the mocha. I did use my coffee grinder in this to make it more fine of a grind to give it a more of an espresso-like taste. I don't know if that actually works, but that's what I do. If you know more stuff about coffee, totally let me know in the comments because I actually don't know what the difference between espresso and coffee is. Once this was done brewing, I got about a half a cup of milk and then I used my milk frother to make it nice and frothy. If you don't have a milk frother and use one of the handheld devices, I got the best protein powder ever. It is so delicious. It's pumpkin pie flavored protein. I am so addicted to this right now. I used half a scoop of the protein mix from this container and then I did a half cup of milk and mixed that together. And then I added that into the coffee and then I topped it off with the optional pumpkin cold foam. For this, you need a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, a heaping tablespoon of pumpkin puree, a pinch of pumpkin pie spice. Once you have that all together, you can use a immersion blender or you can just whisk this until it's homogenous. I do have to admit that I over whipped it, so it was a little too thick. Next time I do this, I'm gonna whip it a little less so that it's more pourable for on top. This recipe is so delicious. I love it for fall. It's one of my go-tos. But again, this is not something that you have to do, especially if you are counting your macros. This is just optional. Let me know which recipe you're most excited to try in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you in my next. Bye for now.